welcome. This is a timeless general reading. If you resonated with the title of the video, the message that I have today may be for you. Please take what is resonating and just leave what is not resonating behind. Timeless art for perspective, for reflection, for focus. So today I feel inspired to just start with the tarot, and then I may use the oracle cards later on in the reading. Let's just see what is coming through. Quick is quick and fast is fast, and time will never last. It does not matter much to me how quick or fast. So I'm hearing I had to cross many barriers and get over many hurdles to get to you. And I did have some sense that this was going to be a love reading, have something to do with a romantic connection. There may be other messages later in the reading, but the start of this reading is going to be about the connection, at least. So there is the Five of Wands, the Love is out with the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords. This is like total hurt, heartbreak and loss, but I want to identify that this is someone's vibration away from the connection in general anyways. Something seems, so you might know this, you might have mastered this. There could be a sense that you're realizing that it's like a glitch in the system or a glitch in the matrix almost. You're sensing that like your connections keep going a certain way, or you end up feeling like this way in connections. This could be more identifying like all your connections in the past. So I'm getting like romantic, platonic, and even in like the career segment, there's something about the energy exchange which resonated with the Nine of Swords or the Six of Swords or both of them. It's like, why does everything that I do for others come back to haunt me? It's kind of like giving freely and then being betrayed, or feeding your energy into something and it is not responding, futile. There's a sense of this closing out but also being brought to your attention, mastered. It's kind of like looking back over your shoulder and seeing all these connections where everything was going a certain way anyways, and you're mastering this now with the Page of Wands. It's like you've had this awakening, you've had this realization, it's just dawned on you, and now you're making completely bigger and better decisions, I want to say. This is still here though, so we haven't actually really got to the center of the connection. I'm getting the sense of like two individuals. One perspective is like I had to work really hard to come towards someone, and then the other person, likely the feminine, is that central perspective that I was just explaining with these cards. So you may have felt this energetic reflection of the Six of Swords, Nine of Swords in your connections earlier, and also early on in the connection with this person. So this is for someone who is waiting for someone, looking for someone, knows someone. Maybe a union is like somewhat started but hasn't fully come together, and there's one individual that has been working really hard to come towards you and has to get over a lot of burdens or obstacles that have been in the way. I'm also sensing that they're closing this out now, so they're like nearly at you, and you are the feminine who has, this is like an over-giving energy, giving to the wrong individuals. That kind of energy is coming out. So you are clearing your space right now and having like a full activation internally, because you're realizing what is not futile. Page of Wands can definitely be about kind of like solar acts, so seeing where your energy does have ripple effects, seeing where you can direct things and there is a sense that you are fulfilled, rather than feeling. I want to also clarify, so like let's talk a little bit more about this past energy, in terms of like how you're experiencing relationships. I'm talking to the feminine. So there's this sense that you weren't necessarily really doing anything wrong. It's like your intentions were pure-hearted, heart of gold is what I'm hearing. It was more just the contrast. So there was like a unique difference between you and the people that you were engaging with, and this was creating some sort of separation or opposition energetically within the connection. I don't know, I'm just going to translate what I'm getting. Something about your influence on others may have very differing effects. I want to say that if you're in like a group setting, find yourself like in a situation, you could be at anywhere, I'm just talking in general, this could be friends, family, lovers. There's like, I'm being identified that there's like sort of like a celebratory energy that people have around you. So people may be happy to see you, excited to see you, happy to confide in your energy. And then I'm getting that the Nine of Swords, Six of Swords comes out because there's certain individuals where you have brought out the opposite of how they feel or embody themselves. So I'm kind of getting like, these people don't make the same choices as you. They might prioritize alliance or something like this over like a genuine expression of authenticity. So there may be like this sense that you were running into this kind of Nine of Swords, Six of Swords energy, because when you're in a group setting, some people see you as a threat, or you don't align fully with their course of action, because they're more focused on like, I'm hearing like alliance, emotional alliance. So this could be like they're sided with someone already, and you're disrupting that in a group setting by stepping in, and like, I want to say the whole dynamic changes. And this is not just talking to the lovers, but I'm sorry, let me just refocus. I want to say that actually both, so there is a love reading going on, but I'm talking to the feminine and giving you some like highlight of what you've been clearing out lately, but there's also some of this in the masculine. So even if you're just one side, or if both sides were to be attuning with this reading, there's a little bit of this on both sides. So this is kind of like competitiveness, group situations. It's kind of, people might sometimes see you as a threat because you have like this pure expression and authenticity that attracts people to you. And there's more like a jealousy, envy, rage in other people when they see that, because they feel sort of like pushed away or pushed to the outskirts of that collective or group situation. So both parties in this love reading may, like the masculine and the feminine, you could still be a same-sex couple. And you could have both. So you could be gay or bisexual or lesbians. Oh my god, love is again at the bottom. And sort of resonate with this. I think what I've been talking about in terms of like this sort of social dynamic, whether it's jealousy or like Nine of Swords, Six of Swords, I think you were better off going through this lesson of understanding this, seeing how people prioritize and show up differently in group situations, work situations, seeing how your dynamic sort of shifts the energy, and also there's this like awakening to how people's the dynamics between people completely change depending on who's in the room. So it could be like one or two individuals are not in the room and everything seems like it's directed a certain way, and then someone else walks in and everything shifts. Something about you mastering your choices and understanding the motives of people in these situations and better addressing them in the future. And this is still like masculine and feminine. So if you're having a person come towards you or you're moving towards someone, both of you have been on this kind of journey, and maybe this is even where you can connect and talk now, communicate now. This is maybe something to go over, because some of that might have been originally affecting the connection. Fear of competition, fear of third parties, fear of betrayal when there's nothing. I'm hearing there's nothing in the way, like the baggage has been cleared. I'm getting the sense that a masculine and feminine can come together. It's more about like focusing correctly and having a stable foundation together so that you're not skewed by just one person's opinion. It's not even like, it doesn't even feel like everyone's opinion. It's like everything could be going good and then someone just says something that rubs you the wrong way or isn't correct. You can shut them down, you can address it, you can correct it, or you can just choose to let it slide, but just know what you're choosing when you do that, and understand it's just one person anyways. It's just one perspective. It doesn't really have any weight on the connection. Now I'm getting like something about compassion and closure. So this could be closing in on you. Something's closing in on you. I want to say that like this is a reading before someone reaches out, connects, comes back together. You can also take the lovers as like two very close friends. This could be like a best friend reading. I'm also getting for some of you because it is a general reading, but the lovers is definitely highlighted. I feel like, yeah, there's a specific connection at center, and there's just this sort of awakening, addressing to deceptive and draining energies in the environment that have potentially been sending you walking away from connections a bit earlier or too soon, focusing on financial things instead because you don't feel trusting or stable because of certain people. Seven of Cups. I'm hearing like scent packing. So I'm still looking at the Seven of Cups, and now I feel like there's an option that is just like no. And it is relative to connections. So this is like addressing things based on making better choices and not choosing something that's bad for you and seeing what's bad for you now. I want to say, take that however it resonates. I think too, in one of the people in this connection, you got both of the lovers out, someone is like also has like withdrawn because they may have realized this. They may have realized that their fears or their betrayal of the past got the best of them in a situation that was trying to come together in the past, or has already sort of started, and maybe it started with like a little bit of a hiccup. It's kind of like, I wanted to move towards something that seemed beautiful and amazing, but it's like in the process of doing that, my wounds were exposed and I had to go back and address how I felt in relationships. Specifically relationships that didn't feel stable. Okay, the Hanged Man. I feel like some of these words are very important in terms of like focus, and you could use them as like mantras. Some keywords for this reading are patience, pause, surrender, and that's really it. Patience, pause, and surrender. Yeah, okay, I feel like someone has just cleared something out. And because of that, there's like an opportunity to reconnect in the near future with a connection. So I started saying that we were going to focus on the connection and then get into other things when I started the reading. But now I realize that I've literally just been talking mostly about what's been in the way of the connection. So this is just going to be a love reading, talking about the connection in general, but the start was more like the energies around you. I want to redefine my relationship with you. But yeah, let's focus more on the actual connection. So let's just hone in on what's between these two people. Now that we've got the outside situations addressed, let's see if we can get any messages out. Okay, something about putting something on the table. So this could be putting your emotions on the table, this could be putting your heart on the table, putting an offer on the table. Okay. So I'm not getting a bad energy here with the Devil card and the Magician. More so getting the Deception a little bit highlighted, okay? So Magician and the Devil can both be seen as like identification of manipulation, and I'm getting a little bit of this, but not in a completely negative sense. It's more so someone not being very clear and honest with you. And I also want to see yeah, so I was getting like a little bit of like third party energy, third party situation, but not, I'm not really getting, the third party isn't like another lover. I want to say that. The third party is someone that is having an influence on the connection. Could be a feminine figure who was, it's like their actions between their relationship with one person in the connection what they said to this one person outside of this connection had a influence on like this deception, manipulation, and I think this person wants to clear this up. So there could be someone who wasn't completely honest because they were testing you or concealing something, trying to... It's a little bit of like trying to make things go a certain way, maybe trying to like expose or get something out of someone. Yeah, okay. So like with what was at the start of the reading and these connections that weren't fulfilling, or there's like you're dealing with envy in other social arrangements and like these other connections that don't feel completely fluid and reciprocal, because people are dealing with that vibration in a relationship, or were dealing with sort of like envy, deception. There could have been like fear of a third party, and this person could have been maybe playing tricks or games to sort of get down to the core of who you are. And I think this is what is like turning around now. They're clearing this up. They're seeing how they sort of maybe didn't really address what needed to be addressed directly in the past. They were trying to get information on you in a very roundabout way. Something about earning up to this within the connection is going to be beneficial, or the Wheel of Fortune could indicate that this person is going to come in and expose what was going wrong in the past, maybe where their head was, what they were choosing, what the influences were, and now the Wheel of Fortune is coming through to sort of identify that this is actually going to play out well now. Maybe not specifically the way someone originally thought it was going to play out. I'm getting like this guidance to be open when this comes in. So be open to understanding, seeing, hearing the other person's perspective. If they do come in with an offer, if they do put something on the table, because there might be certain details that you're just not filled in on yet. But when these details are filled in, it's like the connection flows more fluidly. Everything's set on the right direction, set the right intention, set on the right course. I'm also getting something about like having to step away from focusing on the connection in the past and having to focus on financial matters. That was getting in the way of being like emotionally reciprocal, or focusing so much on emotions in a connection. Maybe that was the hiccup. So this reading is definitely for you if you have like some sort of work situation, financial situation, third party situation getting in the way of a connection. But I'm getting the sense that someone is going to redefine their relationship with you by putting this on the table, explaining what was happening. I'm hearing like last cycle, so this could have been a while ago, a couple years ago, could even be a decade for some of you. That's such a long time, but I mean, I want to even say some of you are listening to this and it's not a like romantic situation or a best friend situation. This advice could actually still be relevant to mending another connection if it's like family or otherwise. So essentially the message is about clearing up and healing from what was going wrong in your connections in general, identifying that slip up, and then sort of being able to come in to this understanding that this was affecting your habits, your behavior, in your relationships that you were valuing, prioritizing. So this is kind of like an outside energy getting in the way of something that is more central. And also could even be like work matters, financial matters getting in the way of a connection. So there's something about shifting this, clearing this up if you need to clear it up with the other person who you want to have a reciprocal connection with. Using this as like guidance and inspiration to redefine a relationship. Try to be less manipulative because there's two cards of manipulation out. Or there could have been a energy in the environment that was like overbearing, manipulative, and that is what was influencing a connection, a romantic connection. So that's for some of you. There's a few, like I'm getting a few different tangent messages in this reading. I feel like it's not just one flat, straight out perspective because it is a general reading. There is like a few differing perspectives, but please just take what's resonating. I feel like holding on to this and getting rid of everything else. I'm gonna close this out soon. I want to say a feminine needs to be clarified on, or the feminine needs to be addressed or read. So, and this could be an outside feminine. I'm not going for the feminine in the romantic connection right now. I just want to say that this is a third party person. So this is feminine energy that might have been deceptive on the outskirts of the connection. I want to say someone may have been using finances as a way, or like a fuck me dead. Excuse my French. There's like someone who had like a very, I don't even know if they're conscious of this, but the third party feminine who was potentially impacting this connection was trying to execute their vision, but they didn't really understand everyone else's choices, free will, value, what they wanted. And it's like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I'm getting they could have tried to tweak the course of action that others were taking by emotionally manipulating them slightly or financially manipulating them slightly. So this is like I'll dangle a fruit over your head or something like that. I don't know why that sounds relevant, but it's like yeah, someone trying to, it's not quite like breadcrumbing, but it's kind of like yeah, trying to convince someone to take a certain course of action by giving them like a little trinket or something. Whether it's like, you do this and I'll give you emotional gratification, or you do this and I'll give you financial gratification. You could be protected in a sense. You could have already been made aware of this before this reading. So someone's watching your back, I want to say. Your intuition's watching your back. Someone on the other side is watching your back. There's a divine order to this. And you know when this is happening. Or there's just like a reflection here, a reminder to know when this is happening and how to balance out your course of action, your direction, not get skewed by this third-party feminine energy that may be trying to influence things and then getting in the way of what is reciprocal. 7 of Wands is out, and that is like a very peaceful energy. I want to say that being very centered, stable, grounded, balanced, doing any practices that assist you with feeling balanced, stable, grounded, music, it's going to help you not get like hit by this. And I also want to say that this person's not that bad. If anything, they just can't really express what they truly feel or want, and that's why they're kind of like trying to tweak other people's course of action. So that's a bit of clarification if you're dealing with a third party individual. When we say third party, it's like the person outside the connection, directly affecting a connection. So this could be mother, sister, friend. So overall in the reading, I'm getting a sense of like balancing out of the scales, clearing out anything that was like throwing off your direction, and taking ownership of your world, the Emperor energy, feeling stable again, knowing what actions you can take to go after and create what you want without succumbing to what other people are trying to make of you. And this whole tone about you that is changing is bringing in a divine connection. Yeah, before I started pulling the cards or recording, I was getting music to my ears. So there's definitely like a big release and unification of two individuals that's going to come together. Music to my ears. It's like the love of your life is about to walk in, and it's actually going to be able to work out because you've paid the sacrifice, you've addressed what was getting in the way of the connection. And my only little reminder is that, you know, people are people, and people do things, and life happens and things come up, but now you know the right course of action. You know how to clear things out that may be affecting your inner compass. You know how to work with these energies now. You know how to address manipulation, deception, third-party energies that are trying to change your romantic relationships, or just your course of action in general. I'll close it out now. My last little, I'm getting a last little message too, so as a bit of identification, if you are dealing with a third party and this is your reading, there's this identification that I'm getting, that you feel like up in the air emotionally or ungrounded when this person comes in. So that's probably an identification for the manipulation, and that's how you can course correct any manipulation or shift in perspective that this person's trying to have on you, is try to feel into when you suddenly feel less grounded, more up in the air, because this person has just said something to try to trigger an emotion or dangle the fruit in front of your face, in your head, and be like, pick this. And you're like, but I'm choosing this, I'm doing this. I'm already focused, I'm already doing it. I just want to clarify that there's hope for the connection, and that this reading found you to just act as some sort of reflection about third-party energies and outside energies, so that you're more stable in this connection. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you got something out of this reading if it was for you. Until next time.